So I've been meaning to talk about this Dragon Ball Daima news ever since the trailer dropped a few days ago, and as you can see, quite a few people have already watched this trailer, 2.5 million views, and this is not counting the other countless trailers that have been uploaded onto the site with millions of views associated with them, so there's clearly a lot of hype and a lot of people talking about this, and there's also a lot of negative, and since it's been a few days, there's been a lot of time for it to stew. For instance, to sit back and think about this trailer, if it's good, if it's bad, and if this is a good direction that Dragon Ball is going to be going down for the near future. But it doesn't just stop there. Most of the reaction I've seen from the community ever since this trailer dropped is pretty overwhelmingly negative. Now, it could be from what I've seen, but even when I browse, let's say, the Reddit, when I went to YouTube, and obviously, Twitter, that's toxic in of itself, there's been a lot of negativity around this trailer. And let's just kind of go back and talk about where all these rumors in this trailer came from, to why people are negative, and what people were expecting. So basically, for about almost a year now, there's been rumors that a Dragon Ball anime was going to be announced soon. There was rumors. You can go back and trace it back to like last year or whatever. And then about a month to 2 months ago, there was a leak that an anime was being made for Dragon Ball called Dragon Ball Magic. Clearly that name wasn't correct, but the very leaks and synopsis of it being about like, our characters turning into kids again and then having like them chase after a demon of some sort definitely seemed to be somewhat accurate because of this trailer and what it presented. Now, let's be honest here. The reason why a lot of people have a negative reaction to this trailer is because our characters are turned into kids, and I'm just going to be completely blunt. GT has a stigma around it. If anyone knows what Dragon Ball GT is, and if you even know anything about it, you know a lot of the community, most of the community, kind of hates it. The only thing that really people take away from GT that they really love is Gogeta, and let's just say, I guess, Super Saiyan 4, and some elements of Baby. There's the, little things of that. And there's also people that really like Omega Shenron. Besides that, Dragon Ball GT is pretty much hated. A lot of people hate GT considerably. And the thing about it is that the reason why people really did dislike it too at the time is because it turned Goku into a kid. And then they ventured off and all that, which seemed kind of okay at first, but then it just it wasn't done well. It wasn't. There was a lot of things that could have been done better, especially with Pan as a character. And, it makes sense why as soon as people see our characters, our cast, like Vegeta, Goku, Bulma, everyone, Piccolo, turn into kids within this trailer, that they would be like, oh crap, we're just doing a reboot of GT. That's definitely the impression people will get after watching this trailer, which that makes perfect sense. It does. I could see why people would come to that, impression just because of, what this trailer provides. And so that already has that stigma of GT working against it because of that association, just with the characters being turned into kids again. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that people were wanting a Dragon Ball Super continuation. And let's also talk about that. Dragon Ball Super here, it ended back in 2018. Pretty much 5 years ago. Oh yeah, over 5 years ago at this point. That's a long time. It's been a long time, which is crazy. I didn't think actually Super's been gone that long, but apparently it really has. It's been gone since 2018. But not just that, even though it's been gone that long, there's been a lot of arcs that's come out within the manga of Dragon Ball Super. We've had, the Moro arc, the Granola arc, and now we're doing the retelling of, Dragon Ball Super Superheroes. It just, there's been, a few things that's happened within the arc that, the anime definitely could cover. If they really wanted to do it, they obviously already did it for, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. They could do a retelling of the Broly movie. I mean, they probably would, honestly. Let's just keep it real. But the point is that people, were wanting a Dragon Ball Super announcement. And with this announcement, it obviously disappointed the Super fans that wanted a continuation, to see the Moro arc animated, to see Granola arcs, animated. But also, being reminded of GT definitely stung a lot of people. So, there's a lot of just anger towards this announcement I have seen. People legitimately do not like this. Now, besides that, the positive side of things, I have seen people say that they really do like the art animation. The art animation is legitimately clean. Here, I'm going to show this one segment with Goku. This segment is really good. Oh my goodness, that's a good-looking sequence of art animation. And you gotta remember, this is not set to air until next year in fall. So we got a full year until this officially airs. And just to have this early look at it, this is pretty impressive. This is a really impressive early look of the show. If this is going to be the definitive art style and animation, I think that's great. I like the direction of the art style and animation that, Dragon Ball is going. Also, I want to talk about, like, the CGI. It's very clear, like, a lot of this segment here is CGI, like this part right here. And, if there's one thing I think people, if you have seen the newest Dragon Ball movie, like Dragon Ball Superhero, regardless of name, regardless of how you feel about the plot, I think anyone that actually watched it can probably agree to an extent that the usage of CGI in that movie was really good. Like, it was better than I think anyone expected. And especially just, a Dragon Ball, being incorporated into, like, CGI. It really did kind of feel like an evolution of Dragon Ball, and it kind of felt like the games to a degree, but better. I really liked it. I really liked that movie. And if Toei, has a lot of those models in CGI, it would make a lot of sense that they would probably use them as well for, Dragon Ball Daima. So I think that's pretty cool. If they do want to incorporate stuff like that, it would definitely be easier since they already have those assets. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Jimmy Neutron stuff. If anyone's ever, watched Jimmy Neutron when they were a kid, Jimmy Neutron, the movie came first, and then you have the TV series come after, and the reason why the TV series for its time period for the CGI was so good, it obviously looks ugly now, but for its time period, is because they used the budget from the movie and the assets from the movie for the TV series, since the assets were already made. So since Superhero was made with its assets, they can use it for this show. That's a possibility. So it could look good. It really does have a lot of things going for it in terms of art style, animation, and even the CGI. Now, besides that, in terms of plot, the only thing that we clearly get from this trailer is that there's probably a connection to Bobbity and Boo. Because, I mean, this whole little segment, we have Bobbity and Boo, and a lot of the Boo Saga stuff appear quite often within this, second half of this trailer. And we know there's some form of demon or whatever that's probably done this. But another thing I want to point out is that the person beside this individual that's probably a demon is probably a Supreme Kai. Like, let me see if I can find it. Like, there is a literal character here that actually looks like a Supreme Kai. Yeah, like, so the guy beside him, he looks like an evil Supreme Kai. You can even see the outfit. Like, look at that. You can see it right there. It looks like a Supreme Kai outfit. Now, it's very possible this could be, like, maybe someone related to Deborah, because, the whole demon segment of the story of Dragon Ball is very unexplored. Obviously, the games explore this, but in terms of anime, it really is an uncharted territory, like evil Supreme Kais and stuff, and, where Deborah really came from. I would like to see that segment, explored within the Dragon Ball verse. And so, it's very possible this series could also bridge the gap to Xenoverse type storyline or Dragon Ball Heroes. So, there's a lot of possibilities here, with what this anime can do. I see this is going to be fun. And at the end of the day, you're not supposed to take Dragon Ball too seriously. It's all about dumb fun. And as someone that's been watching this basically since early 2000s, like 2001, I'm just excited to see more Dragon Ball content. That's me. I don't think it's going to be perfect. I don't think it's going to be the best thing ever, but I do think that it's going to be very enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the story, because there's a lot of potential possibility to explore, especially if they want to go down to the magic route and demon route. I mean, there's a lot there, honestly, and I really think that this show has potential. It's a 40-year anniversary, and apparently Akira Toriyama is actually writing this. It literally says it in this trailer, like it's an original story that Akira wrote. Let's see here. I think I could actually find it. Like right here. I believe Akira, it actually says Akira writes this. It's an original story written by him. It seems like he's heavily involved within this project, and I think that that's good news, because FYI, GT wasn't really written by Akira Toriyama, and I think that even if this is his take on GT, it will be infinitely better. Now, the only question many are having, obviously, is where is this going to fit in the timeline? Like, that's one of the biggest details, is that, like, we don't see Beerus or anything in this at all, but it looks like we have Bulma's birthday party. It looks like a Bulma's birthday party right here, because you see presents and stuff behind 18. So, for all we know, this could be a different time period, like, completely disconnected, maybe, from the Battle of Gods. Like, this could be during Battle of Gods, pre-Battle of Gods, or maybe just a birthday for Bulma, who really knows. But, it does look like there is some form of birthday party going on, and judging by how lavish it is, it's probably Bulma's, just judging by her personality. So, time period-wise, it's Bulma's birthday. Now, does that mean it's Battle of Gods era? Does that mean it's pre? Does it mean it's after? Does this mean that this is after the, superhero movie? There's a lot of questions I have, but I do think that whatever direction you want to go, I am curious if we're even going to have transformations as well. Like, will Goku have, like, Super Saiyan Blue? Will Vegeta have Ultra Ego, etc. Will Frieza be in this? You know, there's a lot of questions. I mean, imagine a mini Frieza. That would be funny. Like, that's legit funny. But I also like that fact that Supreme Kai is in this. It seems like Supreme Kai is going to have a little bit more of a role. And I know that, you know, probably a lot of people like Supreme Kai, but I think that Z, when Supreme Kai was first introduced, he was a really cool character. And, I mean, this man was literally, like, facing up against Boo. He was a really cool character. And I hope that, you know, this show tries to incorporate, you know, Supreme Kai more into the story, a little bit more serious, have an own action for his own, and since we know the ramifications if he dies, Beerus dies, I would like that element to also really be explored too. It'd be really cool. But okay, I want to leave it at that. Tell me your thoughts on how you felt about this trailer. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.